What drew you to this project? Were you a fan of the other Cinderella Story films?
Oh, the biggest fan of this franchise. I genuinely mean that. I was really little when the first one came out, and I was so much of a fan of the original Cinderella Story that I had like this little DVD case, and I literally can remember exactly what it looked like. And I used to take it with me on location wherever I would film, so I had like my favorite movies with me.
Oh my God.
And the first DVD in there was the original Cinderella Story, and I watched it over and over and over again. And then yeah, I've seen all the new ones that have come out, and I'm such a fan of those. So when they sent it to me, my like nostalgic childhood heart was
Yeah,
like, oh, if I could call my my little self and tell her that this would happen one day, she wouldn't believe it. So a huge fan of the franchise, and everyone who's involved in it, and was so excited to get to be a part of telling this new Cinderella.
that's awesome that you had such a nostalgia feeling and that you were a fan. It just probably
Oh
made it
yeah,
even more special.
yeah, so special.
How would you describe Finley? Do you have anything in common with her?
Uh, Finley in common, she loves animals, and I'm a big animal lover. So I was definitely in heaven every day filming, surrounded by just the cutest farm animals ever. And then I think the obvious is like her dream and her passion is music and acting. And for me, I couldn't relate to that more. So I definitely saw myself through her as well. But Finley, she lives in this small town. Her dad has passed away, so she's living with her evil step family, of course. And she's surrounded by pretty much her own dreams. I think that's what gets her through her days. And she has so much inside of her that no one's been able to see, and I feel like so much that she hasn't been able to share. So it's so fun to get to see a character like her go through this journey, and have her happily ever after, and her love not necessarily be within a human being, but with herself and with her dreams and her passions. I'm excited for girls to get to see that, and boys.
Definitely. And you mentioned this. You got to work with a lot of animals in this film. Pigs,
Yes.
horses, cows. You had, several scenes with John Hamm in particular, my personal
Yes.
favorite.
Yes.
What was it like working with the animals? Was it difficult at all? Did you have to go through any training, like to ride a horse or like what was that like?
No training. No training at all. Although I wish I had more time with the pigs. They're work, but the cutest pieces of work ever. But I was really grateful. I feel like it's like working with kids, like working with animals. You want to be really gentle around them and make sure that they're okay. And I was really fortunate that everyone who was the animal coordinators and stuff, they were so trusting with me with the animals, which meant a lot to me. So with the pig, it was definitely one of those you had to learn the secrets of it. When the attitude wasn't it, you had to bring the new little piggy in, and like swap out the pigs. So I definitely learned a lot of maneuvering when it came to the pigs. The horse riding, um, I've been riding horses for work stuff
Oh,
for most of my life, and so
yeah.
that felt very natural. Plus, our horse coordinator, Jamie, I worked with him once upon a time, like years ago. So that was like coming home to a family member again. I already knew him.
That's amazing.
But the animals, yeah, they were the greatest joy. Herbie the goat was my personal favorite. I used to walk away from Herbie, and he would put his paw, his hoof on my foot to be like, don't leave me. And it melted my heart.
So
Yeah.
Finley disguises herself as a man, Huck, to audition for Billy the Kid after her failed attempt to get a role in the movie as herself. Was it fun or more challenging to kind of get to play two different roles in one film?
It was so much fun. I mean, that to me was like so exciting. I remember watching She's the Man, and just thinking that idea was such a fun concept, and wondered what that would be like. And then reading the script, that was really fun for me as well. Kind of again the nostalgic feeling. I would say the tricky part was definitely you're filming in the middle of a pandemic. We filmed this in the middle of the pandemic. We were one of the
Oh,
first productions to go back to film and try it out and test it out when we were in Canada. And so our days were trying to fit as much as we could, but making sure that the safety came first. And so a lot of that time went to the safety. So the switching in and out of taking the mustache on, putting it back on, and turning to a girl, turning to a boy. There were some times where I was like, who am I right now? Okay, I'm hot, got it. But that's, those are the kind of challenges that make acting so much fun.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you and Michael have such great chemistry in this film. What
Oh,
was it
thank
like?
you.
Did you enjoy working with him? What was it like working with him? And are there any fun behind the scenes memories you can share?
Yeah, we honestly we had a great time together. We met each other for the first time in LA at our COVID test before we had to fly, and it was this weird like,
That was the
hey,
meeting, the
okay,
COVID test.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
great.
The COVID test was the meeting. I think I went first. He was like, ladies first. I was like, yeah. And so I got the COVID test, and then we spent 2 weeks in the same apartment complex, but could never see each other because we were quarantining. So we
God.
did all of our pre-production over Zoom, and but then once we got on set, I think we were both so thrilled after a period of not working to be back on a set doing what we love. And I think, both had such respect for each other and what we do. I had heard through so many of my friends who were binging, All American through the pandemic, how brilliant he was, and then found out he was attached to the movie. So I was like, how wonderful that our Prince Charming is Michael, and he's so great in the film, and I'm so excited for people to get to see him in this new light from what we usually see of him. So he kills it in it, and yeah, we had a great time. Any fun behind the scenes stories? We definitely, I mean, we got the giggles a lot, probably when we shouldn't have. But the horse racing scene was our favorite day. So much so that even on our lunch breaks, we just continued riding the horses. We just rode around all day. And then we somehow convinced Michelle Johnson, who is our director, that we didn't have enough footage of us horseback riding, so that we could ride some more. And so she let us, it's all pretty much us on the horse, which was so much fun. And we were just trotting like crazy and running through the most beautiful field in Vancouver.
God, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So last question, what do you think is the overall message of the film?
Overall message. One of the things that I love about creating and about movies and just as a viewer myself is I feel like it's up to whatever that audience member is going through in order to kind of take whatever they maybe need to hear or see when they watch it. For me personally, elements that I would hope that people would take from it is one, the idea of not giving up. I feel like, we all hear no so many times in our lives, or we feel like we'll never have that chance, or, oh, that could never happen for me, or I'm not this, or I'm not that. And I think the message of, if you've got something special to give, you know it in your gut. And so you've got to work towards it, and your time will come and your moment will come. And I think, just staying true to your heart and what you love and what you believe in, and kindness, it always wins in the world of Cinderella. And I think it can always win in our lives as well.